Another bullish indication, another day. Recently, the SEC leaked a highly sensational story on XRP Ripple. The SEC was making every effort to bring down Ripple not long ago. However, things have changed, and they may suddenly be producing XRP millionaires. Don't you think that seems crazy? However, the situation is simply becoming more intriguing. According to experts, the price of XRP Ripple coin is more complex than it first seems underneath the headlines. Although many, like analyst John Squire, caution that it's not nearly the breakthrough event people may think, the clearance represents significant progress. It's critical to comprehend why. Fundamentally, an exchange-traded fund, ETF, is a financial instrument that enables investors to obtain exposure to an asset, such as XRP, without really holding it. It could be compared to purchasing a ticket to watch a game rather than participating in it. Though not directly, you are involved in the action. Investors can wager on XRP's price swings using a futures exchange-traded fund, ETF, which was just approved by the SEC, without ever having to handle the actual tokens. Instead than really purchasing XRP, it's more like betting on whether the price will increase or decrease. It does not therefore generate demand for the real asset. It's not cryptocurrency, it's exchanging paper. However, a spot ETF is a distinct animal. It entails buying and retaining the real XRP tokens. Because of this, demand is increased, supply is decreased, and prices may rise. Thus, even though a futures exchange-traded fund, ETF, advances XRP's institutional legitimacy, it does not initiate the supply and demand dynamics that could propel the token to a new price level. The futures ETF is not negligible, though. It's a symbol of something strong. There is no longer any legal ambiguity surrounding XRP. It is making inroads into the realm of traditional finance, which is occupied by hedge funds, pension funds, and other major players. This adds a whole new level of visibility and legitimacy. It appears that the SEC will categorize XRP as a commodity, as the chancellor of XRP tweeted. Gold is a commodity as well. The digital gold is XRP. That's a fundamental change in perspective, not merely a catchy phrase. Gold and other commodities are regarded as stores of value. They have worldwide use cases and are not governed by any one party. The road to widespread acceptance is made much easier if XRP is handled similarly. More and more people believe that XRP is about to embark on its next phase as a key component of the contemporary financial system, rather than merely a remittance solution or a lawsuit survivor. The severity of this situation is encapsulated in the Crypto Geeks tweet that reads, XRP ETF, approved by United States SEC. It is brief, true, and the start of a much longer story. Jack the Rippler increased the commotion by cautioning, be ready for the domino effect, which implies that further ETFs may follow and that an XRP ETF may not be long behind. The true treasure here is that institutions purchasing and holding XRP would be indicated by a spot ETF. At that point, the dynamics of prices drastically shift. This futures ETF is still a huge win till then. It grants XRP a place at the institutional table and opens the floodgates to legitimacy. However, the market will have to wait for something more concrete before the price spike, acceptance, and utility can take off. Something seems to be beginning right now. XRP is now being positioned among commodities like gold after previously being regarded as a regulatory pariah. The question of whether XRP will succeed has been resolved. It's the extent to which it will advance now that the doors to conventional funding are starting to open. This futures ETF might be the first glimpse of a far greater treasure if digital gold is indeed the appropriate comparison. Crazy, huh? What you haven't heard yet, though, is this. The predictions made by the cryptocurrency gurus regarding XRP's future could astound you. Tell me you're not interested because what they're saying might make all the difference in the world. Continue to observe. This is when the exciting part begins. Imagine purchasing Bitcoin in 2011, when the majority of people disapproved of the concept of digital currency. Right now, several analysts are characterizing XRP in precisely that way. According to a Minix, purchasing XRP now is comparable to purchasing Bitcoin in 2011. Until you look at the statistics, it sounds crazy. XRP isn't simply recovering. One of the most spectacular bull runs in cryptocurrency history appears to be about to happen again. According to Xrp Crypto, a seasoned market watcher, XRP is continuing its 2017 fractal. And, if he's correct, we might be about to see a price shift of enormous proportions in less than a year. XRP soared from less than a penny to nearly $4.00 in 2017. That is a gain of more than 6,000%, and it may be occurring again now. XRP has already increased by 578% from 50 cents in November 2024 to almost $3.00 in January 2025. That surge encountered resistance just like it did the prior time, and the coin has been coiling like a spring as it consolidates. This is wave 2 of an Elliott wave pattern, according to Xrp. Wave 3, the rocket phase, may be the one to watch if that technical structure materializes. This summer, between June and September, according to his chart, XRP might go above $27.00, and it doesn't end there. Even after reaching $27.00, XRP may experience a brief reversal and fall as low as $5.00 in what he refers to as Wave 4. Xrp predicts that XRP will reach an eye-watering $120.00 in a last fifth wave. That would represent a 50% rise over its current price and place its market capitalization, which is close to $7 trillion, on level with commodities like gold. Although it's a huge assertion, it shows how confident some analysts are in XRP's long-term prospects. The larger XRP community is just as enthusiastic. XRP will print the largest green candle ever, the XRP Avengers tweeted. Some have a more realistic goal, such as CryptoBeast, which predicts $10.00 to $12.00 during current bull run. Still, there's a sense that something significant is about to happen. There was no subtlety about Crypto Sensei. $3,000.00 XRP could arrive sooner than you anticipate. These aren't merely fanciful forecasts circulated on Twitter. They support the expanding notion that XRP is doing more than merely battling the law or attempting to stay afloat in the shadow of Ethereum and Bitcoin. It is developing into something that has historical precursors, institutional interest, and a strong market structure. The important thing to remember is this: regardless of whether XRP hits 10, 120, or even $3.00, big players are observing.